We're talking tennis this morning, and you'll love the purpose. It's game, set, and match for Bethany Christian Services. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Millen team of Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, the mortgage company of the year, here on 38th Avenue in the Bilo Plaza. We're focused on an upcoming tennis tournament to benefit Bethany Christian Services, and we're visiting with Sue Brunson, one of the organizers of the tournament. Thank you for coming in, Sue.
Oh, thank you for letting me come on the air.
It's exciting. The tournament's getting close, June 8th.
It is. It is a great tournament for a worthy cause.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, of course, on Thursday night, June 7th, you all have a big kickoff event, and then the tournament's the 8th through the 10th. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It is. On the 7th, that Thursday night, the kickoff party's at the Dunes Club. It's from 7 to 8:30. Last year, it was absolutely fabulous. There's a silent auction, there's a regular auction, Calcutta, the food's wonderful, the hospitality's fabulous, but I want to make sure everybody remembers the purpose, and that it is a fundraiser for a great cause. Bethany is a wonderful organization that I feel very honored to be a part of, helping girls and women in crisis pregnancies, and helping couples that desperately want a child to become a family. So that's our purpose, and good play, good fellowship.
That's great, Sue. Good to tighten it up like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry we have 25 minutes instead of 2, because we got to go a little beyond that. No, that's good. Thanks for summing it all up.
Okay.
That'd be a nice way to wrap up the interview as well. But when we think about, of course, so many activities that have to happen during the year to get ready for a big weekend, like June 8th through 10th. A lot has to happen during the year for you all to have a successful event. And, of course, lining up some tremendous sponsors, lining up the location, lining up the date.
Yes, well, the Dunes has graciously offered to host this event, and Prestwick as well. In fact, all the area clubs have said they would step up.
Good.
But the Dunes Club is our host site, and I would love to fill all the tennis venues around here, which we have beautiful tennis facilities around the beach, the Grand Strand. We have an active Grand Strand Tennis League Association that I have been fortunate to play with. Sometimes I just stand out on the court, but I do try to hit the ball fairly well sometimes. If the wind's blowing right, I do try to play well.
You all do have a very active, the Grand Strand, is it Tennis League or Grand Strand Tennis Association? Or?
It is.
Sure.
Multiple leagues, all different levels, from beginner to, pro level, basically, plays out of the Grand Strand with some of the best league tennis in the state right here.
Is that right? Our tennis columnist, Neil Peterson's been writing about tennis for a while.
He does a great job, and he is a very good tennis player, too.
Is he really?
He is.
I've never seen Neil play tennis.
He is an excellent tennis player.
Have you played with him before?
No, I've never played with him, but I've seen him whip up on a lot of people.
Is that right? That is fascinating. Neil's an amazing guy, and he's been doing that column for... He'd been at the Sun News for many, many years prior to...
I love that column.
Yeah, well, good. Well, tune in now. He's been doing it now for a couple of years in the Herald. You
I know he
can get a copy, and, of course, he and so many other dedicated volunteers to the Grand Strand Tennis, is it GSTA? Tennis Association. The Honeycutts are very active in that as well.
Susie's one of my tennis partners.
Is that right? That is great. Well, we expect to see those folks and many others out on that weekend. Now, the big event, of course, the night before the kickoff event, that's where a lot of the dollars come together to help. I think you said you all had a silent auction, a live auction, and, of course, the Calcutta, and you're going to have to share with viewers what that means in a second.
Now, with the silent auction, we have Christy Turner has been gathering prizes all over the Grand Strand for the silent auction.
Good.
And then she's putting things together in baskets. And the area retailers and different individuals have been so gracious. Some of the baskets might have $1,000 worth of prizes in them. So what we've had to actually kind of separate some of the baskets because they were absolutely getting so large and make more of them. That says a lot about the people here at the Strand.
Folks are willing to give for a worthy cause. People
are willing to give when they know the cause is right.
Right.
And then the regular auction, there will be different things in that will be auctioned off. That's, great fun.
Good,
to
good.
sign up for everything and see what happens.
Absolutely.
That's what I did last year.
Yeah, drive the bids up. Good for you, Susan.
Drive the bids up. It's a lot of fun. And what else? The Calcutta. Now, the Calcutta is when teams bet on each other. And people that know how to work a Calcutta can actually make money off of it, but don't forget, a cut of that money is always going to Bethany.
Right, absolutely.
Keeping that cause in mind all the time. But it can be so exciting to watch the auctioneer, drive the prices up and the people
and that's
bidding
your goal.
against each
Absolutely.
other. Last year, as I said earlier, last year someone did bet a lot of money on me to win. Now, I did know that was not a good bet, but you know what? He didn't mind betting on me, even though he knew I wasn't going to win, because he knew the money was going to be well spent. Even though I have apologized to him ever since I've seen him for that.
Since then. That's right.
Since then.
That's hilarious. So it's 6 to 8:30 on that Thursday the 7th. Okay,
and I do hope everybody that plays comes to the party.
Sure, absolutely.
Because it's just so much fun, and it's good fellowship with each other. Plus, this year I want to make sure that we do drive home the purpose of the tournament, because you can play good tennis anywhere. But this is a special tennis tournament because it is for Bethany.
And you'll have a chance to share with the folks who attend that Thursday night event about the purpose of Bethany, or remind them why they're there, and of course why they're going to come out and see some of y'all hit the balls on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I assume you hit them a couple
I do. I try.
Yeah.
I try to hit it more than twice.
If a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family off to school, what's the best number for someone to call to learn more about the tournament? I think I saw you've got the Dunes Club phone number as well as the Bethany Christian
the Dunes Club.
Right.
Diane and Fritz Gildemeister at the Dunes Club.
The 4490185 number?
That's it,
okay.
Exactly.
Good.
And I would go in and call. We do have the entry forms available at the area clubs now.
Right.
They're going out, or just call. Go on and call. And this year, as opposed to last year, we have reduced the entrance fee.
No.
Yep, absolutely, because we want to make sure that more people get out there. And we have had very generous money come in for sponsors.
Good.
Just overwhelming.
I saw some of those tremendous sponsors, Scalise Realty and BB&T, and of course Martin's, and Dr. Keith and Suzanne Berry there, and many others. You've got a lot of tremendous sponsors that have been stepping up, as you say.
We do. We have the big money sponsors. Of course, Scalise Realty is our title sponsor, and they are just amazing at what they've done for Bethany. Just a blessing. And then some of the other big sponsors. But I have to tell you too, every time we get a sponsorship of $100, we have lots of sponsorships for $100 or $200, and then people donating the prizes. All of that adds up to really make for a wonderful event, and one that's well funded, and the money is all used for our local Bethany office.
Yes, that's wonderful.
So it stays right here.
That is wonderful. If a viewer wants to learn more, less about the tournament, but more about Bethany, what's the good phone number to call to learn about Bethany?
Well, you can call right here to our local Bethany office, 839
5433.
5433, that's exactly right.
5433. Of course, you'd said earlier before we began filming, 1-800-BETHANY.
Which 1-800-BETHANY is our national number that you can call, and then the Bethany website, www.bethany.org.
Okay, and it's got tremendous information online.
It does. This summer, one of the things that we're doing to get the word out is flying banner planes.
Is that right?
We are going to have banner planes going during spring, when summer first starts, and all the teenagers.
Right now,
are at the beach. We are going to have the banner planes going.
Just promoting the Bethany.org and 1-800-BETHANY.
Crisis pregnancy. Need help. 1-800-BETHANY.
That's wonderful. Good for y'all. That's a great commitment to get out there and reach folks on the beach and all up and down the Strand who clearly need to be reached. A lot of crisis pregnancies occurring in this area as well as in the PD and southeastern North Carolina and all over the country.
So even if a young woman calls 1-800-BETHANY and they're on vacation here, it's going to route them to where they need to be anywhere across the United States.
When they get back to home,
wherever that is. When they get back to home.
Sure.
And, of course, you can always call our local Bethany office.
That's wonderful, 839-5433. Break down a little bit about Bethany for viewers who may not be familiar with what Bethany's purpose is. Of course, you broke it down a little bit earlier, but just to, how y'all got together here locally, or when the chapter opened, or just a little bit about what y'all are doing.
Bethany is a Christian-based adoption agency and for crisis pregnancies. So, as I said earlier, if you have got a young woman who finds herself maybe scared and needing a pregnancy test, she can go to Bethany. Worried about what to do, and Bethany will help walk her through the processes. If she decides to keep the baby, they can do some shepherding to help her through her pregnancy and to help train her in the role of a new mom. If she decides to give her baby up, they will have counseling to help her both before, during, and after the pregnancy. Then you've got families. Oh, let me rephrase. Then you've got couples that want a baby, and desperately. And it seems like every time I turn around, I'm hearing of somebody wanting a child and not able to have a child. And this is the answer to their prayers. And Bethany goes in and does the home studies. And it is a Christian-based group, so they want a good Christian home for the child. Now, styles of adoption, they can be open adoption, where the mother actually picks the family. The family gets to know the mother. It can be a closed adoption. The mother is the driving force in this. And I think that's one of the amazing things, one of the God-given things that Bethany does, is that the adoption can be tailor-made to what the birth mother wants and what the adoptive family wants as well.
Right, very important.
And we have something called embryo adoption as well that is fairly new. It came in to play in 2004, and it's when women go to fertility clinics and they have embryos that need to be implanted for whatever reason, and they've used them and they've had a pregnancy or they've decided not to do it, they can turn their embryos over to Bethany. And so an adoptive family can come and actually get those embryos, and those can be implanted into a woman.
That's fascinating.
And adopt a child that way too.
That is fascinating, Sue. Well, a lot of different routes that folks could take, but crisis pregnancies are the centerpiece to a great degree, obviously providing a Christian-based adoption facilitating adoptions as well, very important, but clearly the crisis pregnancy is probably a centerpiece for y'all and taking up a lot of time. And y'all have volunteers as well, Sue?
We have volunteers that actually man a 24-hour hotline. So you can call the Bethany number both locally or the 1-800, and you're going to get to talk to somebody.
Live time.
Live time.
Wow, very important.
Talking to somebody. And so that's a good thing.
Yes. Yeah. Real quick about yourself, Sue. Are you originally from the area?
This is my hometown. I'm a local yokel.
Is that right?
From Myrtle Beach.
From Myrtle Beach.
From Myrtle Beach.
Really?
That's exactly right. I graduated Myrtle Beach High School. I graduated Coastal Carolina when there was only 5 buildings there.
Oh, golly.
And tuition was $287 a semester when I was at Coastal.
Is that right? No way.
Yeah.
We had a guest yesterday, Paul Banta, who was the assistant athletic director out there and joined Coastal 23 years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
Probably not much different than when you were there. Probably not much different at all.
I think I was there a little bit before him.
Or a little bit after him. That's right. And of course, for you growing up in Myrtle Beach, you've probably seen the area change quite a bit.
I have. One thing about Myrtle Beach, though, it just gets more beautiful all the time.
It does. Listen to you. Yes. All the areas, whether it's up here on 38th. For our viewers here in the PD in southeastern North Carolina, getting them down, encouraging them to come down and visit. They're going to see something new every time they get here.
You know, when growing up in Myrtle Beach, I grew up on the south end of Myrtle Beach, and went to the state park, went to Springmaid, went to Hurl Rock, the different areas where the guys would surf, and my brothers surfed, and my sisters and I would go to the beach. And now my kids, I live on the south end of the beach. We did move away for a while, but coming back, They go to the state park.
Right.
They go to Springmaid.
Right.
They go to
Hurl Rock,
Surfside.
not
They
far.
go to Hurl Rock.
Yeah, sure.
Doing the same things.
That Hurl Rock's very close to y'all. That's
It
right.
is.
Very close. Yeah, very close. And of course, you'd shared, I think you all have a daycare center.
I do. I own We Care Day School. It's been in business for 45 years.
That's
in
incredible. Is that the oldest day school
It is.
in Horry County?
It is.
Probably.
My mother, Martha McDowell, God rest her soul, she was such a pioneer.
Yeah.
And also, she was in one of the first groups of students for Coastal Carolina.
Is that right?
Back when it met at Conway High School.
Oh, no.
Isn't that
Wow.
something?
That's fascinating. That's 50 plus years
Yeah,
ago.
and I'm so tickled that my oldest son is going to go to Coastal this fall.
He's matriculating this fall in
Yeah,
August?
yeah.
Wow. Well, you and I need to talk. That's fascinating. Yeah.
But I do love the area. I like living on the coast. And I love living in the Grand Strand.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a beautiful area. And to think about, was there anything like Bethany when you were growing up that you remember, Sue, in this area?
I didn't really know about it. I found out about Bethany just a couple of years ago. Well, I'd heard about Bethany for a long time. Let me take that back. Years ago, one of my friends adopted through Bethany.
Really?
And that
So
was
it has
the first
been there a
time.
while. Sure.
And that was the first time I'd heard when my husband and I were in church in Pawleys Island. In fact, they adopted both children from Bethany.
Is that right?
And
Great.
right recently, I am the president of the ECW, or the Episcopal Church Women at Church of Resurrection in Surfside, and I did a tea. And our organist, Karen Kearney, was to give her testimony for the tea. Well, the Saturday before the tea on Sunday, I told her that I'm hustling. I'm getting Bethany flyers for the tennis tournament out
Right.
to Prestwick because they're having their wonderful Nissan tournament.
Right.
And she had called me about what her role as a musician was. And I said, well, you're supposed to give your testimony. And I'm doing all this today. And she gave her testimony in the fact that her children were both from Bethany.
Oh, boy.
They were adopted from Russia. But she didn't know I was on the advisory board. I knew her girls were adopted. I didn't know they were Bethany babies. So yes, it's been around for a long time. It's just because I didn't know about it didn't mean it wasn't here.
Right.
And Ginger Bartos is the regional director.
Great.
And she is a blessing to
Yeah, we
everybody.
like Ginger a lot.
Yeah,
she's a
she's a good
special
girl.
woman. And she'll be out, of course, on Thursday the 7th for the
She
big
will.
kickoff party, and then for the tennis tournament on the 8th, 9th, and 10th at the Dunes Club. She'll be out as well.
Oh, she'll be there for sure.
Good. Is she a tennis player?
I don't think so.
We're going to have to ask her that.
We'll
That's
have
right.
to ask her.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty fun to get her out there. But there's one thing about it. With this tennis tournament, it's handicapped scoring.
Okay,
So
good. Share that with viewers. What
handicapped
does that
scoring,
mean? Yeah.
oh, it's just a lot of fun. Last year when I got home after playing, I had come so close to beating two very, very good tennis players.
Because of...
Because of the handicapped scoring.
Right.
I got home, I told my husband about it. He said, I am so proud of you. Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
And I said, that handicapped scoring came into play.
Yeah.
Oh, Kathy Bates and Cindy Moran, but they still beat me, even with the handicap scoring.
That's hilarious.
But,
For viewers who are not familiar with handicap scoring, that just means you can stink.
It's very easy. First off, they do put you in levels, your levels of play. So if you're a beginner, you're in a beginner, advanced beginner, which for us would be a 5-0 to a 6-0 are grouped together, 6-0 to 7-0 grouped together. It's groupings like that ensure that you don't have a brand new player playing against somebody that is very, very good, okay? Because you don't want that to happen. But in a level of play, you're going to have handicap scoring, which anybody can remember how to do this, and it's a lot of fun. If you lose a game, then the next game you get to start at 15 love.
Oh, great. Okay.
If you lose the next game, you get to start the next game at 30 love.
Even better, yeah.
So, and
Like
so
that.
on. But, say you were to win a game, heaven forbid you were to win a game, then the score would drop back. If you were at 30 love, then it goes to 15 love.
Wow.
And then if you go even, then, you're playing from scratch.
Right.
So, you both start at the same.
So it gives the opportunity for losers, I mean, you know, for folks who don't play often to really get out there and still have a good time.
To get out there and have a good time. This is not a USTA event.
Good, it's for fun.
It is just for fun.
Okay.
And you can get out there and you can play and have a great time. And also spring season has just come to an end. So everybody that's got out there and played beautifully all spring, trying to get to the state, trying to get to sectionals or nationals, now it's time to relax, get out there, enjoy each other.
Right.
Still have that fabulous competitive edge.
Yeah.
But it's for fun.
Will you still have folks attending the tournament that are not tennis players? Will you have folks coming out there to support y'all?
To get out there and
why would a viewer
watch.
want to come if they're not a tennis player?
They would want to come because it's fun to be a part of the excitement.
Yeah, and to support Bethany.
And to support Bethany.
Right.
So you're going to have lots of folks working the courts, making sure that you've got everything you need.
Right,
and
sure. So you'll have a lot of volunteers out.
Lots of good volunteers.
The weekend of the 8th, 9th, 10th.
It's nice to feel catered to. It's nice to feel special.
Right.
And I want to make sure every participant knows that they're special. I want to make sure that every sponsor knows that they are special. So I want to make sure that all the sponsors know to come to the kickoff party, even if they're not playing in it.
On Thursday the 7th. Good. And can other folks attend? And is there a desired donation?
A desired donation of $25. And I'm glad you used that word donation. Everything at Bethany for this tennis tournament is tax deductible.
Oh, great. Good.
So that's a good thing.
Okay. Everything's tax deductible. Absolutely. Finding different ways to cut a check. It would be to Bethany Christian Services.
Bethany
Christian Services. And if a viewer is out of town on the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, they can still make a donation?
Well, of course they can make a donation. We always accept any donations because it's good to feel good about giving money to something that does a great job.
Yeah, absolutely, particularly a nonprofit organization. And the 839-5433 number is the best number to call to get an address? Or
That's exactly right. Just go on and call Bethany. And maybe if you need to ask a few questions, there's Sonia that answers the telephones and is a wonderful administrator there.
Yes.
She's able to put you where you need to be.
What could be the cost for the tennis tournament?
Oh, the cost, I was telling you that early. We did take the price down to play one event, whether it's men's doubles, women's doubles, or mixed doubles, is $35.
Okay.
To play two events, it's only $20 more.
$20 more?
More.
Okay.
So for $55, you can play a men or women's group and mixed doubles as well.
How exciting. Golly.
It's a good
you
thing.
should have a tremendous turnout. And, of course, I'm sure you already have a lot of folks lined up to play.
Well, we're just signing up now for that.
Right, good.
But people that played it last year, they're certainly planning to come back and play
So there's definitely room if folks call now. And you would recommend them just calling the 449-0185 number, calling the Dunes Club directly and sign up for the tournament.
And talk to Diane, talk to Fritz, or whomever they have answering the telephones, and go on and get signed up.
What about for you, Sue? I think you said you've been on the advisory board the last couple of years. Some experiences that you've heard about, some special instances of crisis pregnancies that really stand out. Of course, I know you can't talk about names or otherwise, but anecdotally, some of the experiences that have been shared with you and the other board members about some of the great things Bethany is doing locally here in our area.
I'll tell you how I got involved. I heard a priest do a sermon on Psalm 139, Ed Kelleher, and he's at All Saints Waccamaw.
Right.
And Psalm 139 tells how the Lord knitted you together in your mother's womb. He knew your thoughts before you were ever even born. And so you can never be lost in the eyes of the Lord. You're always going to be with Him. And then, so I heard that, and I tucked it away in my mind, tucked it away in my heart. And then Marion Scalise asked me about being on the board. And she's my next door neighbor. Of course, they're title sponsors of the tennis tournament. And I went to a meeting, and I knew this is where the Lord was pulling me to move. To branch out, to get out of my comfort zone of my ordinary existence, of which I do have a wonderful life, and I do lots of things, but to branch out. And I think that's what the Lord's called us to do. His Great Commission is to spread His Word and to branch out and to evangelize and to help people. And I found that Bethany is a perfect outlet. I love to play tennis. their main fundraiser's tennis tournament. It was a perfect fit. And so I always keep Psalm 139 close to my heart.
That's great.
And Bethany just seemed to fit with it beautifully.
Sue, those are great words. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
Being involved with such a tremendous organization. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Sue Brunson coming up next. Every child deserves a loving home, but that's not the case for millions. Millions, not thousands, not tens of thousands, but millions of children worldwide. This is Bethany Christian Services. This is Bethany Christian Services. You heard Sue talk about it. She highlighted a great local phone number, 839-5433. There's also an 800 number. If you're experiencing a crisis pregnancy, if you have a loved one who's experiencing a crisis pregnancy, if you know someone at all, or even if you're not, if you want to pray that you will reach a day that we don't have crisis pregnancies, pick up the phone and call 1-800-BETHANY. 1-800-BETHANY, or you can go online at bethany.org. These are folks you know, or folks that you may meet someday. There's a lot of folks out in the community that are going through this. Take the time to support this event. There's a big kickoff party Saturday or on Thursday, June 7th. It's at the Dunes Club, 6 to 8:30. A $25 donation would get you in, give you an opportunity to even spend some more money or make more donations inside, or get out that weekend, the 8th, 9th, and 10th at the Dunes Golf and Beach Club for this tremendous third annual tennis tournament. This is Bethany. Get out and support this.